Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your man, Dame DNYDC, host of the Two Mics Up podcast. Back again, brand new episode, season 3. And today we are joined by a very amazing uh, woman, individual, entrepreneur, strategist, coach, author, you name it. And it's one of those that I like to call a hidden gem in our neighborhood. This woman has really done so much behind the scenes. And really, for me, I'm starting to see more of her in front of the scene, which is a positive thing because we got to keep our eyes out and follow along with what she's doing. And I'm not really going to drag this out too much further. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined today by Leeta Harlem. Leeta, please take a moment to introduce yourself so people can really understand and get the feel of what this networking conversation is really all about.
Wow, thank you so much for that introduction. So, yes, I'm Leeta Harlem. I am a communication strategist and self relationship coach. And I have two books that I've published. I have two more on the way by the end of this year. I also have a podcast called Pivotal Moments. And my heart is really around my organization called My Natural Me, which really is all about creating a space for women to feel honored, empowered, and refreshed. And then my newest thing is the Business Crossing Network, which is actually, as of very, very recently, the name is officially the DMV Business Crossing Network because our headquarters is in the DMV. So that
Awesome.
is the quick version of the few things
Huh?
that I'm involved in.
Well, see, here's the thing now, because we all about the quick, and that's good, but we got to break this down a little bit. Because, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is really the beauty and what I really love when we have individuals such as Lita that are really so diverse, and purposed in so many different things. You probably heard me say this on this show before. We are divine creations, and this was no mistake. Okay, so Lita, I want to start one really quick as an author, like what is the inspiration and where do you get your inspiration to write and tell the stories that you tell in your books and also give a quick tag where people can find your books as well.
Yes, absolutely. So the quick tag where you can find my books is actually at my website, which is lilitaharlem.com, or you can also find them on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, the first book was really inspired by just watching the women in my life, my grandmother, my aunt, and my mother, and just seeing the legacy that they've left. And, many times in our culture, it can be difficult to feel that we are receiving a legacy,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's because of, our income status or other circumstances. And one day I was looking at my grandmother, who at the time was 95,
Wow.
and I was just watching her and admiring her. And I thought about her and my aunt and my mom. And I said, you know what? I have to tell their story. And honestly, at the time, I really wasn't thinking about necessarily for the public or for the community. I was thinking about for our own family so
Right.
that us, as the next generations coming up, could have that legacy and look at all the amazing things they went through: domestic violence, sexual assault, just very hard things, single parent, all that.
Mm.
And we would be able to look at that and gain the strength. So that was the inspiration behind that. And then because I'm the type of person that I truly believe in using my voice to help give permission to other people, especially women.
Mm-hmm.
I realized soon after that book that I needed to address something that was kind of an underlying current, and that was depression. And
Mm.
that's something that I've dealt with my entire life, and so many family members. And it's something that, believe it or not, is still very hard to talk about and
Yeah.
address.
Yeah.
And so my second book it's entitled I Can Fix My. And it really is just going through how we can take ourselves and fix ourselves and not have to bury ourselves in trying to fix other people or look for someone else to fix us. And it's really
Mm.
addressing some of those things that have happened in our life and gaining control over them so that we become the director of our life. So those are the first two books. And then the second two books coming out, same type of thing, just about empowerment, gaining strength. And then I'm releasing a poetry book,
Uh-oh.
which is so funny, right? Because so
Uh-oh.
many people are like, I didn't even know. Well, they realized in my second book because I had about 4 poems in there.
Hmm.
And they were like, I didn't even know you wrote poetry. So they're in for a very big surprise because it's going to be really just some beautiful poetic things in there. So I'm super excited.
Well, I tell you, sometimes the stars, the moon, the whatever it is, they align. Because I tell you how, and this is a quick tidbit, folks, because you're hearing this here. I'm working on something for the new year, and I was thinking about doing an open mic or something like that. But I decided I might want to do poetry. I want to invite maybe 20, 30 artists to come. On a Thursday night, we like to do our lives. And I think, for the new year to change it up, we do poets and we'd have artists come on and take a few minutes to share their poetry. I might have to reach back out to you, uh, one as a guest or a judge or something, because this is something that's kind of been running in the back of my mind. So it's just odd when you kind of come across, because that I didn't know. So now we all know together, y'all. So go out and support
Yes.
everything that the sisters got going on. So I have to move forward. And I mean, kudos to you. I love everything that you're saying and the empowerment and everything that our women and our sisters need.
Thank you.
You're doing a great job with that. And thank you for sharing. But I do want to ask, so all of that, you know, how does that really impact? Because is that what inspired you to want to continue to connect with members of our community by now bringing forth BCN, the Business Crossing Network?
Right. So my organization, My Natural Me,
Hmm.
again, it's about creating a space for women to be honored, empowered, and refreshed.
Okay.
And what I found is that, especially over the pandemic, which of course we're still in, but I found so many women were starting businesses. And because they knew that I already had a business years ago, I had my own nonprofit, they would come to me and ask for questions. How can I start this business? How do I get an LLC? Should I have a business plan? They were asking all these questions. And so initially, my idea was I need to do something that's going to bring all these amazing people together that are starting businesses, and let's help each other. Let's share resources and
Right.
networks and all that. And then I realized that a lot of my male friends were also doing the same thing. And
Hmm.
I said, you know what? Instead of just centering around women, I'm going to open it up and create a business network. It'll stay nice and small. It's not going to be one of these huge ones where you kind of get lost in the sea, but
Right.
it will be nice where everybody can really learn from each other. We can support each other on social media. And then I can do what I love, and that's create these spaces and workshops and events and strategy sessions and all that to help more people be able to feel empowered and refreshed, but on the business side. And so
Makes sense.
that's when I created Business Crossing Network.
See, it all makes sense because at one point in time, I had a similar idea before the pandemic hit. Really, I had been to several different types of networks and thought about creating my own. Then the pandemic hit, and then the podcast kind of grew out of sitting around on Friday nights. We were in a group and really decided that I wanted to become the voice of our community and talk
Mhm.
about various topics. And we've kind of metamorphed into educating, empowering, impacting, and doing things to highlight businesses and people of color uh,
Yeah.
to our community. And I say all that to say is I am familiar with the difficulty it can be starting
Mhm.
something like that. So, one, let's talk about the difficulties that maybe you uh, had in creating it, and then let's really get into tell everybody what is it really all about with Business Crossing Network. What can people find or come across if they were to, let's say, become a member?
Yes, absolutely. So I kind of took some of the difficulty out of the equation because I did it as a pilot first.
Okay. Okay.
So I reached out to about 10, 11 people and I said, listen, this is what my goal is, but I want to kind of try it out. Let's just see how we work together, how it works. And it
Mm-hmm.
was amazing. The 10 people that kind of started this together with me, They gained business from each other, referrals. One person was able to actually let one of her side jobs go because just
Awesome.
from business from the group.
That's
And so
awesome.
when I saw just how well it was working, of course, did my research, talked to some other people, and I said, it's time to go with this. And so it really offers workshops, training. When you join Business Crossing Network, there's really two ways to join. One is just the general membership, which is basically with the Facebook group. You can be on the email list, you can get updates and resources that way. But then the premium membership, which is a paid membership, you join that and you have exclusive access to certain trainings. We've had everything from lawyers provide information on trademark, copywriting. We've had networking events. We've had workshops on, again, how to start your business, what's an LLC, and then we also offer strategy sessions.
Mm,
And everybody, when we have our team meeting, we talk about what we need. Do we need help with launching our product? Do we have a new service that we want to just kind of get the momentum going? So it
right.
really is a hub for you to have the resources that you need so that you can thrive. And I always emphasize, this membership group is not to replace other memberships or groups that you may be a part of. It is designed to go hand in hand with
Mm,
the other things that you may be doing.
understood. Understood.
Mhm,
And that
mhm.
really does make a big difference for some people. Uh, not to feel
Exactly.
tied in or tied down to one thing. It
Yes.
allows you to really come and go. And like I said, your paid membership allows you that. And you can kind of pick and choose and really figure out what works maybe best for you or your model. Because my model
Yes.
and yours may not be the same.
Exactly.
That
Exactly. That's
that's
exactly right.
that's awesome. So I I would say with that because I heard you say the goal. Um, but I also like to talk sometimes, about really what would you say or what do you see as maybe the mission and vision moving forward for BCN?
So it is growing so beautifully and so organically. And as I mentioned, our new official name is DMV Business Crossing Network.
Mhm.
And really, it's because our headquarters, and notice that now you see where I'm going with
Yeah,
this.
yeah, I got
Our
you.
headquarters is in DMV area,
Right.
but we have people in Detroit,
Wow.
in Atlanta, and we
Awesome.
are now moving towards having these smaller chapters in these other areas where we'll be able to support
Yeah.
business owners, small
Yeah.
business owners out there. We have some amazing connections and things in the works. And I'm just really excited because ultimately, again, this is going to be something that's just going to help so many small business owners
Yeah. Yeah.
have a network with each other, be able to. There are so many people that just literally call up a member in the group and just say, hey, I'm looking for someone that can do XYZ, or can you
Right.
help me with my website?
Right.
And that's it's just building this beautiful family environment. And
No,
it's just amazing.
no, and that's really awesome. That's why I hope that our audience and people who get a chance to watch this really understand because a lot of times we don't understand as small businesses and businesses of color, and I've said this before in the show, bartering and networks like this. Okay, yes, there is a membership because things have to be taken care of. But once you are in a network like this, and please tell me if I'm incorrect, but you're bartering now. I become a salesperson for the DMV Business Network. I become, for Leeta Harlem, the author. All of
That's
your
it.
businesses now you have promotions in because now if I'm out and I hear somebody say, "Oh man, I'm looking for somebody that can come in and kind of coach and talk about, oh, you need somebody? I got somebody." And the good
That's
thing
it.
about it is, see, I'm going to refer that person to you, but really, I'm going to you like, look, don't drop the ball on this one because this person is this, and this, and I'm expecting that person to call me back or tell me, hey, well, look, damn, Leader ain't really been answering it. See, now you're putting me in a situation too,
That's right. That's
and
right.
and this is what I think a lot of times we don't understand, and this is what makes me excited to see.
Yes.
And like I said, now you're growing. You're talking about
Yes.
Detroit and Atlanta. This becomes a whole coastal thing. And this
Yes.
thing becomes big. And
Yes.
people really need to I hope you're listening and paying attention, folks. And really, if you're interested, we'll stay tuned because we're going to let Lita drop all her information before we go today, and
Yes.
really reach out and really become a part of something that is right here in our own backyard in the DMV, and it's growing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, it's exactly what you said. And it's just been, for example, one person actually reached out to me and she said, hey, there's this event about mental health, and there's these psychiatrists and doctors and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I know that you deal with mental health awareness, and they need one more person on the panel.
mm-hmm.
From that, think about the connections that I
Yep.
made even from that. And that's
Yep.
how it works. With everyone is just really, they want to help. And
Yeah.
that's the people that we want as part of this
Yeah.
membership. People who are about helping each other. And like you said, sometimes I've seen even where a person will say, like we have a personal trainer, and
Mm-hmm.
she was looking for some business strategy sessions. So she went to one of the members and said, listen, why don't we do a 30-30? I'll give you 30 minutes of
Right.
personal training. You give me 30
Exactly.
minutes of, and
E-
let's do that for 1 month. And I mean, it's
exactly.
just right. This is what we need to get
Mm.
back to, right?
Yep.
As a community, as a
Agreed.
culture, working together and growing bigger.
Agree. And I'm going to close this portion of this comment and commentary because exactly what happened is this. This is like what you did. I happened to be sitting one night and I don't remember what it was. And I apologize. I couldn't make it Sunday. My schedule was overbooked. But this is how business happens, ladies and gentlemen. And this is how we were able to get Lita on the show. She was doing something in the Lake Ridge area on a Sunday. It was a health event. And I'm
Hmm.
sitting there talking to my wife. Hey, send her an email. I I have nothing to do with it. Don't know this woman, but I like what it was about. And let's just go ahead. So we ran some promos on a couple of our shows. Um, and I saw what I saw. It was a great turnout. It was a great event. Uh,
Yes.
but then I said, well, let's take this a step further. This is something that's going on right here in the backyard. Costs nothing, but I feel what she's doing, we need to share. And
Wow.
just in what we're talking about in these last 5 minutes is how we came to fruition. I've never met her before this evening,
Wow.
but she's doing something in the community that touched or spoke to my spirit and moved me to continue. Hey, let's move her around in the schedule. Let's get her on. And here we are today. So these things do happen, ladies and gentlemen. But
Yeah.
you've got to put yourself out there. You've got to stay committed, and you've got to honor these things because this is how networks grow. And I'm glad she's now part of the Two Mics Up family. And
Yay.
hopefully this thing will continue to grow and blossom as we move
Yes.
forward. Uh,
Yes.
so with all of that, and I'm going to pause for a second because usually right about now is where we would run a commercial. We're back after the break. It's your man, Dame DNYDC. Two mics up. Leeta Harlem, author, communication strategist, all around. Look, don't go nowhere. Get your pen, your paper, because we're going to leave it at the end. You want to get her information. Uh, this woman is just doing amazing things here in the DMV with her Business Crossings Network. Get it right, DMV, BC again. Uh, Leeta, I just have to ask and talk to her. So we were talking about all the things that members can get by joining, but let's really talk about some of your events. And
Mhm.
are they tailored a certain way, or is it done in a manner to where maybe it helps your members grow? And if so, like how do you weave that in so that that growth can happen at your events?
Absolutely. So our networking events have been phenomenal. And again, it's just pretty much every single networking event that we have, we gain, if not to the general membership, to the premium membership, because even just in the networking event, business happens, referrals happen. We had one event, for example, in-person event, and two people, one person, I know that she handles one thing, someone else handles another thing. And so I went to them and I said, you two need to connect.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's just having that hands-on feel.
Right.
And we have a variety. So we have in-person events like the one the past Sunday, but then we also have a variety of virtual ones. So the virtual ones many times are really designed for the educational piece. So as I mentioned, trademarks, copyrights, branding. We have one coming up about how to do your business plan.
Mm-hmm.
The in person, I like those too. And we, of course, we keep COVID friendly
Mm-hmm.
and all that. But again, it gives people the opportunity to be able to build with each other. And here's another thing I like: we have these events at other small business locations.
Awesome.
And those business owners have been able to join the membership. So we've had a number of them at Girani Coffee House.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in the
Mm-hmm.
area knows
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
number
Yep.
10 in the
Yes.
family.
Exactly.
Yes, and so we've had them there. So that also was able to bring Ken into the membership and, of course, support another small business.
Mm-hmm.
We've also had a few at the Clearbrook Art Center of the Arts
Mm-hmm.
in Lake Ridge. Again, small business in the community doing amazing things and still really doesn't get a lot of the recognition that it should get.
I agree.
So we're able to have these events at these pockets of places and bring attention to these other small businesses.
And that's what it's really all about, growth and unity and numbers. And this really just, a lot of people are just not aware of all of these great businesses that are hidden gems, as I like to say, all around our
Mhm.
area. I really do enjoy, like I said, what you're doing by bringing that together. And yeah, I think if you live around here, if you've never been to Girani's, then yeah,
Right.
I, I just
Well, I can't help you.
I can't help you. Right? I can't help you. But okay, that's real. So I
Right.
did. So changing lanes real quick, and let's talk. Well, you did talk about the learning center and what they can learn, but what else do you see maybe being added on as additional learning, and how do you see the learning center growing? For new members, I looked at it. You do have two different portals, but do you plan on adding new things and additional learning
Yes.
as the network grows?
And you might be the first public place that I'm sharing this
All right,
information.
y'all hearing it here. Two mics up.
You're
Tune
hearing it here.
in.
Yes. So I am so excited about this. So we will be starting the BCN Learning Portal.
Okay.
And this is for the premium members. So to help people understand, if you've been on LinkedIn and you've seen the LinkedIn Learning, how you can sign up for various
Mm-hmm.
courses, they're pre-recorded, they go through, you get a little certificate.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be doing that for
Yeah,
BCN. And
that's
yeah, I'm
that's dope.
so
That's
excited.
dope, right? That's dope right there. That's hot. I like that. That's hot.
Right, right. The
That's hot.
BCN Learning, we are working now, we're creating everything, we're putting it in place so that again, you log in, you can take these various courses and trainings, and you can have everything you need.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard it here. Breaking news.
Yes.
Get your money together. Premium membership.
Yes.
Get you some education. Yeah,
Yes.
get yourself some certification. And just really improve yourself. And really expand your knowledge on how to help your business grow. And
Yeah.
that's really what it's all about in today's game. I'm sorry to say, a lot of us working 9 to 5.
Yes.
But we all need a side hustle. We need,
Yes.
and when I say side hustle, like, I do this. It's not really a side. It's a passion. It's become a passion for me,
Hmm.
and I hope that it comes through when we're doing this show. But you've got to try to stay one step ahead of the curve, because that curve comes quick, and that curve go like this, and you're going straight into a wall because you're not prepared. So what Leeta's doing with BCN is really preparation for you to stay ahead of the curve, and I love it.
That's
Y'all
it.
heard it here first. We'll
You
probably
sure
play this.
did.
We'll play this back in some promos for y'all. But y'all better get on board with it because that's dope. That is real hot. So I want to ask them, with everything that we've talked about so far, and
Hmm.
I'm a life lesson person. So if
Yes.
there was, like, let's say, one life lesson that you could share, um, that inspires you to do the things that you're doing, what would it be that you would share with someone else, and
Hmm.
inspire them to continue to do great work in the community?
Absolutely. So, and I'm very transparent about this, and I'll kind of give the briefer version, but I always share how my own journey experience. I was in an abusive relationship. I dealt with depression, suicidal. I was,
Mm.
in a hospital on suicide watch.
Wow.
I was all these things in this very dark place. And when I began to come out of that place, when I finally was actually glad to be alive, I realized that in order to make it matter, I had to use my voice and share what I've gone through, but not just what I've gone through, but where I was heading and where I'm
Mm.
at. And
Mm.
I always tell people, and I actually did a post not that long ago. There was a time period when I had left the abusive relationship. I was starting over in Northern Virginia, which was very different from where I had lived before, and I didn't have enough money to pay my rent. I
Mm.
wasn't just used to even thinking about paying rent, things like that. And I needed $400 in order to not be evicted. And I was working at a contract job. And I remember that I actually planned the next day I was going to pretend to be homeless and go to DC and
Wow.
actually beg for money.
Wow.
And I thought about it and I cried about it, but I was determined because I was like, I can't go to my family again for more money and more
Mm.
help. Well, fortunately, something kicked in and I did not do that, but I did get evicted.
Wow.
And I share that story because that was many years ago now. And I let people know, if I, who've been in a hospital, sad because I wasn't successful in taking my own life,
Mm.
be evicted from a home and now own, I'm building an empire. I speak to people, I'm an author. And I say that with not boasting in myself, but boasting in, of course, the creator who has allowed
Yeah.
me to
Yeah.
get through that journey. And
Mm.
so that's what inspires me, to let people know I know what it's like to be dark, helpless, homeless, sad, all of that. And I say, look at what God can do.
Okay.
That's my inspiration.
Man, that is a moving and powerful story. My hairs on my arm are standing up. Uh,
Yeah,
to hear that, because that is in your darkest days. Uh,
yeah,
we have the strength
yeah.
and the blessing to be able to
Yes,
overcome it. Anything is possible. Yeah,
that's
I
it.
tell I tell everybody, and your story is another example that anything is possible. And sometimes you have to work through it and you have to stumble through it. But in your darkest times, there's always a light. There's always
That's
a
it.
way to the light. And that was so moving and telling. And I thank you for taking a few minutes to share that with us, because I'm praying that there's going to be somebody one day sitting down, watching or
Mhm.
listening to this, and will be inspired and moved to
Yes,
make change just like you did. So thank you.
yes, that's it. You're
Um,
welcome. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. So as we come full circle and we get ready to close out this amazing episode with Leeta Harlem, Leeta, I just want to ask you, so please share what's next for you, because we know about the books coming. We know
Yes,
about the name change for the DMV
yes,
Business Crossing Network. But what
yes.
else is going on with you And where are you going to be at? Where can our listeners and our audience find you at? Please share your social media information where they can come out and support. And guys, you need, when I say support, that means join. Wink,
Yes.
wink. Okay. So go ahead and take a few minutes to just let us know what's going on with you and all your social media.
Yes, yes, yes. So you can always find everything at my website, which is the full name of Lilita. So it's Liletta Harlem, just like the city. That's one, all one word, .com.
Okay.
You can also find me on Instagram. You can go to My Natural Me Woman, and there you can also go in my bio and I link everything there. You can also go to the Instagram Business Crossing Network, and that is still Business Crossing Network. So you just type that in and you can go right there to the Instagram there. And of course, the Facebook group is now the DMV Business Crossing. So you can look that up. And again, if you look up my name, you'll be able to pretty much find it. And then again, you can also get the books, as I mentioned, on Amazon. You can just type in my name there as well, and you can get the books.
All right. I will be looking into signing up some way somehow. I think what you're doing is great. Is
Thank
needed.
you.
I look forward to in the future being able to physically meet you and come down to some more of the events that you're putting on here in our neighborhood. Uh, Continued success to you and all that you do, and all that touch, and all of the lives that you're really touching with what you're doing. I wish you nothing but the best. Um, and like I always say here, two mics up. You are now an official member of the family. Uh,
Yes.
if you have information that you'd like to share or that we can share for you, it's nothing but an email. Just send an email and we'll do what we can to work it out on an episode or a show or post for you. Not a problem at all.
And I forgot to mention one thing. Can I share really
Sure,
quick?
please go right ahead.
So I have actually, I can't believe I forgot this, but I am actually offering 50% off right now for the membership. So when you go to the website, and of course, the website is Business Crossing Network, go straight to that website and select option one, which is the annual membership. At checkout, put in the code guest 50, and it's 50% off of the membership.
So, those of you who have short memories, and I'm going to tell you this. So, and we'll talk when this is over. This is some on air, off air, being a podcast host. So,
Yep.
that will be uh, in the description. For those of you who some of us have this ADHD and short term, I'll put that in there for you. Make sure you go ahead and check this
Yes.
sister out. Go support, get your certificates, get your training, better
Yes.
yourself, better your business. It's all one love, one big happy family. Lita, thank you
Yes.
so much for taking time out of your schedule, uh, sitting down with us here on Two Mics Up. Hey, look, ladies and gentlemen, there was an amazing show. You too can go ahead and go online, follow us at www.twomicsup.com. You can always follow us across social media, IG, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Two Mics Up. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you go down there to the bottom. You go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You go over there, you hit the bell so you can get all the latest content coming from Two Mics Up. And look, while you at it, look, I'm not afraid. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment. Constructive criticism is what it's all about. We want to make sure that we're bringing you the best content that you like, what you don't like. Let me know. And like we always do at this time, before we go,